All right, now it's time to cut the capital gains tax. That is the subject of the riff. It's time to cut the capital gains tax right now. If there's a 3.0 reconciliation budget bill that requires only 50 Republican votes plus Veep Vance for 51, the GOP can do it. Put a capital gains tax cut in that 3.0. It'll add growth to the GOP message. And polls show that in addition to the voter ID bill, voters want government fraud to be cleaned up, and they like a middle-class tax cut for growth. But we need some leadership from Senate Majority Leader John Thune, and we also have to convince President Trump, who does want 3.0 for the Save America voter ID citizenship bill and for military spending replenishment, both of which are fine by me, but we need a cap gains tax cut that will benefit average middle-class working folks. Right now, empty nesters don't need their multi-bedroom homes, but they really can't afford to pay a $500,000 capital gains tax, which comes mainly from Joe Biden's 21% inflation during his 4 years as president. Now, last night I talked to Newt Gingrich about this issue, and here's what the former speaker said.
There are millions of Americans whose children have grown up, their house is too big, they'd like to sell it, but the current tax consequence is so great they won't sell it. When you had mentioned something you and I both have worked on for years, indexing capital gains, and for our audience, it's very simple. Should you have to pay tax on inflation? Now, if you don't pay tax on inflation, suddenly you have a much bigger interest in investing. When we cut the capital gains tax when I was speaker, revenue was at $60 billion from capital gains. After we cut it, it jumped to $200 billion.
Sure enough, absolutely. Actually, no one should have to pay a tax on inflation. So if we index the capital gains tax for inflation, people would just pay tax on the real appreciation of their home or any other assets. Much fairer. We're not just talking about the very rich, by the way, but really middle-class homeowners who might have bought their house years ago, maybe 30 or 40 years ago, and the inflation mounts up over all that time. Why should they be soaked just because the Federal Reserve printed too much money or the federal government spent too much money? The answer is they shouldn't. Many of us have been fighting this battle for decades, but now, if we want to end the housing recession, indexing cap gains would unlock probably 1 million homes for sale on the market that would be available at a decent price for Gen Z and millennial affordability. Now, here's another key point. The capital gains tax exemption on the sale of a home should be doubled. Right now, it's at $250,000 for singles and $500,000 for married filing jointly couples. All right? These levels have not been changed since 1997. That's nearly 30 years ago, and there's been a lot of inflation since then. So why not raise the capital gains tax exemption to $500,000 for singles and $1 million for married couples filing jointly? And it's guaranteed that the unlocking effect, because of lowering cap gains taxes, will produce a flood of revenues for the federal fisc and will greatly loosen up the frozen housing market. The trend for existing home sales is really about 5 million over time. But in recent years, it slumped to 4 million, a drop of 1 million. My view, cutting the capital gains tax will boost these sales and probably will boost new housing starts as well. It will be great to get lower mortgage rates and easier regulations at the local level. And closing the border by President Trump will stop all of the illegal migrants who bid up rental homes and home ownership prices. But, cutting the capital gains tax would be huge. Let's get going on it. And that's the riff.